so I'm KB with Nerdophiles. How are you both?
I'm loving your
Sure.
backdrop. I'm
Thank you.
loving the backdrop. It's really triggering some like I'm from the 80s because I'm old and I'm like this was like the preferred backdrop for like all my photos. It was like please make it look like
Yeah.
futuristic. I'm really
This is like wallpaper I would have killed for in my room as
yeah,
like in when I was a kid growing up. Begged for something like this.
Oh my
yes.
gosh, I love it. Well, thank you so,
Yeah.
so much. So I'm absolutely digging this origin story. It's definitely not what I expected, in the most hilarious of ways. So for each of you, can you talk about kind of what was the one characteristic or trait that you really wanted to keep with Velma from the kind of original iterations? And then what's kind of your favorite trait that you've added in this version? And I'll start with you, Mindy.
Listen, she's such a beloved and iconic character that so much was done. You know, Charlie created the show and I'm just lucky enough to do the voice on it. But what I've loved about the character is that she's really good at solving mysteries. And she is like, so I think that was kind of the most important thing. And then what I love that we added was honestly, I think for a teenager, the original show is so great, but doesn't go into like the internal life of a teenager. And obviously, that's something that's really interesting to me, given the shows that I work on. So this sort of this complex relationship with her father, who's very funny, himself trying to work on being a good person, and her mom and her stepmom, like that all felt really modern. And so I love that Charlie made her home life like a little interesting and at times challenging for her.
Yeah. What about for you, Charlie? What was kind of the most fun trait to keep, and then the one that you're most proud of, like adding in?
Yeah, I like Mindy the mystery solving that, the chance to can I love watching, season long mysteries, fully arced out and the chance to have you just don't get a chance to really do that as a comedy writer. And so to have that, the keeping the mystery solving love front and center and also attaching some trauma to it felt really exciting. In terms of what is new is again, yeah, just the relationships, the sort of Velma's personal loves and crushes and whatnot felt really fun to get into it. Other shows have hinted at that, but to have our Velma in series become much more proactive was really exciting.
Yeah, you know what? I'm really glad that you brought up, Mindy, the parents, because they play a huge part this season and they almost really cannot be trusted, which is kind of one of my favorite things. I love when the parents are kind of holding like their own set of secrets that the kids kind of just stumble into. And I find that that's like a lot of what happens this season, for sure. So, what is kind of your favorite storyline that you could tease? And I will start with you, Charlie.
Oh, geez. My favorite storyline, this is so generic, but really kind of how everything ends up tying together. That's what I sort of, in terms of the writing and what I enjoyed the most was we started with all these loose ends. Again, when you begin, you're just trying to make it as exciting and funny as possible. And then you get to the end, you're like, okay, now we got to land this thing and sort of how we came up, how the room and I came up to kind of bring it all together. I'm really excited for people to see.
And for you, Mindy, voicing this iconic character, what was kind of the fave storyline this season?
I mean, there's the journey between, I don't know, like I do a lot of characters that are South Asian and their complicated relationships with their family. And this was just so different than any that we'd seen, we didn't mind, and this is something really worthy. And I've done this on other shows, the immigrant parent experience and their child who was born here. That's not in the show at all. It's a completely different, like Russell Peters as her dad is a completely different kind of Indian dad that we've ever seen before. And I like really liked that. I also think like her relationship with Daphne is so fun. Like Daphne is not just hot and redheaded, like she's fiery. She has a personal mystery she's trying to solve. And so I really like that Charlie and the writers give these like everyone has a story. Norville is like so adorable, and seeing him get like more confidence and a backbone is also great. So sorry that I said like five things, but I'm a fan of the show. Okay, so I'm a fan. So I liked a lot of the show.
Well, Charlie, I think that you and the writers did a fantastic job. Mindy, your voice in the show is hilarious. Like, honestly, it's so funny that I was like bawling over in laughter. And I was like, I did not expect it to just be so hilarious. So just thank you both so much for chatting with Nerdophiles. Really appreciate it. Can't wait for everyone to watch.
That's great. Thank you so much.